Here we are, folks. The Albert Clock in Belfast. Great monument. It's not my photography, it's like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. It's at a tilt, which is more pronounced towards the top. A lot of money was spent underpinning it and reinforcing it and cleaning it by the look of it. What you won't notice in Belfast city centre is dozens and dozens of traffic wardens, enforcement wardens, street wardens, COVID wardens, COVID advisors that you have in the English cities. Because here people are generally law-abiding, would you believe? It's a terrible thing to say that about Northern Ireland after our recent history. But fairly law-abiding. Some beautiful buildings from the Victoria era and beyond. Amazing, expensive restaurant directly opposite the buildings. Right. Here we have Musgrave Street, the city centre police station. They've tried to hide the super reinforcing. They've tried to hide the fact that it's, well, basically a military outpost is what you would call the police stations in Northern Ireland. But because it's a city centre, as you see, they've tried to make it a little more, I don't know, what's the word? Pretty. Trying to make it blend in. But still a surfeit of security cameras everywhere you go. There you go, no parking at all. No push bikes, no granny three-wheelers. I think it was here I was dragged into one night when some bouncers got me with some cocaine. And that's the reaction I get. They didn't even look at me. So that's grand. Nobody stops and says, "Who are you? What are you doing?" Blah 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 blah. A lot more civilized in this country. Elliot's fancy dress on the other side of the road. Isn't that great? Aye. How many of them stop to say, "Who are you? What are you doing at the back gate? Recording our private vehicles?" And we're supposed to be in a real heightened security terrorist alert, as we always are in this country. But as far as city centre stations goes, they try their best to hide this and make it innocuous. As I was saying earlier, I think I was dragged in there one evening after some doorman caught me with a little bit of cocaine. So a few hours in a prison cell and £200 fine. I could find more for no TV licence. It was bloody ridiculous. So as you can gather, I'm not an upstanding, normal citizen. I've been bad, I've been good. This police station, of course, serves the law courts, which are just on the other side of it. The High Court, where you get dragged in if you've been a naughty, naughty boy. But for many, many years, Belfast was depressed. It was under what we call a ring of steel. You couldn't actually drive anywhere through the city centre. You had to go through all sorts of checks by the army and the police. You get patted down just go into the city centre. They get on buses and check the bus's number, all the seats, etc., etc. So the city centre was a pedestrian area way before pedestrian areas were invented. Report fraud and cybercrime, eh? So, face coverings must be worn in the ink. Oh, that's a bit rough, because I wouldn't be wearing them. As you can see, the size of this bloody place, as I said, this is the central station dealing with all the law courts. And it's directly opposite this big new shopping development. What I'll have to do is come down here someday and show you Chatty probably how the private security deal with it. I think will be a good idea. But we've a little bit further to walk for this monstrosity. As you can see, another reinforced armour plated bulletproof glass Sanger to open and close the gates. Pedestrians, please use pedestrian gate. That's about the height of it, I think. And again, some lovely old buildings. The courthouse, old townhouse. Nah, right up here. On the right, that's where you would go in for your divorces and all that stuff. On the left is the High Court, where you go in and you don't come out. But again, nobody seems to be interested in me. This is good. This has proved that the police service of Northern Ireland is better trained, more professional than all those numpties in the UK, the rest of the UK. I'll pause a little bit. Okay, we'll do a quick around Arthur Square. I think it's Arthur Square. So, this is what the Northern Irish think of all this COVID nonsense in general. So, you see how absolutely everybody's wearing a face mask? See the security on the doors?
I can make it again.
Pause again for a second. So, Victoria Square, cinemas, restaurants, everything. The security guard just walked past me, holding my camera. It wasn't turned on, didn't even look at it. This little radio going, buzz, 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 but he just wandered on. Yeah. Oh, it's a one-way system. It's a lovely place. If you're in Belfast, you have to visit it. There's another entrance again. I've come right in a full circle to that yellow monument. So this is all built, developed, massive swathes of land behind the building. And you wouldn't even have known we're here. House of Fraser, good man's clothes. Amazing amount of shops. This is the first time I've actually walked through Victoria Square myself. It's usually jiggling about. I'm not quite used to this whole nonsense just yet. I bought this I bought this gimbal stabilizer, new in the box, off a woman for £10. So shout out to Alison up the Old Park Road from I'm a independent media service covering news topics. I hope you saw that. All right. So all I got from the security guard in one of the biggest city centres, shopping centres, was hello. And in no way, with body language or anything else, would I have felt that he wanted me to stop and make a kind of myself. It's great, I love Belfast, I love the people. Fantastic town. That security guard 3 walking past me and totally ignoring me. That's all I can say to all you English people, all you English officers, come to Belfast and walk around. Beautiful city. With laid back security. All good, all reasonable. Nobody cares. I'm sure it'll all change. Sooner or later I will get somebody going, yo, what are you doing? And back. Again, the van's hitting, picking, nobody cares. We're not far away from the place where they stole £50 million. The mistake they made was the £50 million was all in uncirculated £50 notes, which the bank immediately cancelled, reprinted with a totally different design. But again, do you notice all the street wardens, all the litter wardens, all the COVID wardens? Now in that store there was 3 security men just wandering about being polite and being nice. How many security men do you see in the doors here? We don't have them. I'll just walk up here a little bit. Arthur Square, Masonic Hall.
Can we cry because we're lost?
Since 1st November 1867, and they rent the bottom floor out to businesses. Now isn't it amazing how all these people can actually behave and look after themselves under the ground? Not filthy, not stinking. And still, I don't see any security guard. Now here's one you're going to expect security guards at dump stores. And I guarantee you they're being on them. Gordon's Chemist. No security. And Anders Jewelers. No security. The very long established jewelers, old family name in Belfast. No entry. So far, the only council worker I have seen is brushing the streets. So, yeah. Absolutely. No doorman. That was a famous old city centre building. Primark were in it. It burned down from the top down. And I don't know whether they can restore it to the way it was or not. It was a beautiful ancient landmark. Well, there you are, folks. A whole walk around Belfast. I hope you enjoyed it.